So hello everyone. Today I'm going to teach you about I'm going to discuss with you all about the binary search. So now talking about binary search. Do you understand what the binary search is? Let me just take one array. Then I'm going to tell you. Let me take one array. Things would become clear. Okay. Wait a second. I have made one array. So 1, 2, and binary search is applicable only for the sorted array. Yes, this is the truth. Binary search is applicable only for the sorted array ones. 5, 6, and then it's 7. So binary search is like, let me explain. Before moving ahead to binary search, I want to give you a real example so that you feel it. That how the binary search is applicable, where it is applicable. Suppose I'm taking the example of an assembly line. Okay. So in the binary search, what we do now, that we don't travel the entire array. Like binary search, when you are performing binary search is basically performed so that you don't have to travel the entire array. When the array is sorted and you have to find any element, if you are given with any target of the element and you are asked to find that the index of that element. So what you are going to do, that if the array is sorted, you are not going to transverse the entire array. Instead, you are going to find some amazing trick. So for that, let me give one very nice example to you so that you could relate it with the practical life and then you understand BSc. Now, suppose you all are standing in the assembly line. What happens in the assembly line? Teachers are asking us that no, you are not going to stand with your friend. You are going to stand height wise. So in this similar manner, here what will happen, that you are going to stand height wise. First, suppose I am taking 8 friends. Okay. So this friend means these 8 students, friends, classmates, which are standing in the line. 3. This one is greater. We are standing in the assembly line and height wise. Same rule. 5, 6, 7, 8. Students are standing height wise. So let me give name. Suppose this one is Daksh. This one is Ansh. This one is Pratik. This one is Kanishk. I'm talking about boys line. Don't think that I'm going to insert a girl in between. No. Kanishk. And then it is going to be Raghav, Shivam, Bobby, one more, Chirag. Okay. So these are the students which are standing in the line. And suppose the teacher have to search for Chirag. So teacher know that Chirag is not going to stand in the front. Why? Because the students are arranged in the increasing order. Means increasing height order. So Chirag is the tallest one. So Chirag is going to stand at the last. So teachers are aware that Chirag is going to stand at the last. So they are not going to search for Chirag in the midway. They are going to simply come at the last. In the same manner, I have to search for, suppose, Shivam, where Shivam is standing. So what I'm going to do now, that I'm going to take this guy Raghav as a reference because he's standing in the middle. So if I know that Shivam is larger, taller than Raghav, so Shivam is going to stand at the back of the Raghav. So I'm going to iterate it over here. And That also I'm not going to iterate entire line. I'm going to get, like, if Shivam is taller than this person, Shivam is smaller than this person, like Shivam is taller than Raghav, but Shivam is going to be smaller than Bobby, so Shivam would be standing over here. So basically I will search this part only, the student standing at the back. I'm going to search Shivam in that only. So what happens? Time of the teacher is going to be saved, no? Right? And suppose when I have to search for Ayush, then what will happen? That I am aware that Ayush is smaller than Kanishk, which I have taken as reference. So when the Ayush is smaller than this, so Ayush is going to stand in front of it. So I'm not going to search for the entire line. Now I'm going to search for the starting part only, that if the student would be present, he would be standing in the front part, because students are standing height wise, which means in the increasing order of height, which means that in the sorted order. So in the same manner, here we are talking about this array. So I hope now you would just love it, just see. So what will happen? That okay, so now what will happen, that this example collides somewhere of array, right? When I have to search for any particular target, suppose when I have to search for 5 and I have got the reference of the element as this element. So I know, when I know that 5 is larger than 3, then I'm going to search for this part. I'm not going to iterate over here. My time complexity therefore decreases. So this is the logic, my dear friends. This is the logic about the binary search. You could, like, how beautifully you can relate it with the practical life. And trust me, DSA is not at all difficult. If you are going to, just think about it in the practical life, practical situation, it is not at all easy, and you are going to keep the technique, the tricks by heart, because it would be self-invented by you. And that also what you will realize now, that what I said, that when you will get Shivam, then you will get Shivam, that Shivam is taller than this, then he would be standing at the back. But Shivam is smaller than this, then he is smaller than Bobby, then he would be standing at the front of the Bobby, but at the back of the Kanishk. So the same logic works over here. Finding every time the middle element, the same logic is going to get over here. So now let me just take this beautiful example. Let me take this beautiful example to the other position. What happened, yaar? Why this has happened so beautifully? I have explained you. Wait a second. No, I want this entire part. I know it would be creating a disturbance for you guys, but just give me 1 second. Or let it be over here only. It is just creating a havoc. Let it be at this part only, okay? Now see, what I am telling about is this only, that I am going to search for the element in this manner only, like by sorting it, because the array is already arranged in the increasing order. So what I will do, that here I am going to find the middle element, means the reference element, the way Kanishk became reference over here. In the same manner, I am going to find the reference element. Then I am going to find that whether this element is smaller or larger. When the element is going to be smaller, I am going to search for this part. So when I have to search for Ayush, I know Ayush is smaller than Kanishk. Then I am going to search over this part. In the similar manner, when my target is greater than 3, suppose 5 it is there, I am going to search over this part. In the same manner, the target, this was the thing, and if in the same manner, when I am going to search for this Shivam, I know that Shivam is greater than Kanishk, I am going to search in the later part. So this is how beautifully it can be thought by arranging the student in the line. Now what you are going to do, what I am going to do, let me just give the index also, so that you don't get confused at a single place also. I don't want you to be confused anywhere. 4, 5, 6. And I would like to discuss with you one of my mistake, but before that, let me, otherwise you just see, I'm going to discuss it at that time only. So see, what I will do, I'm going to find the middle element, no? So I'm going to take the, suppose, one variable which is going to store the starting index position, which is 0, and I'm going to store the ending position, which is n minus 1, which is the 7th index, right? Then I'm going to find the middle element for the reference part. The reference part will become the middle element, so that the middle element will give you the idea whether to search for the front part or search for the rest part. In the same manner, the way Kanishk was giving the reference over here, he was standing at the middle. So when he was standing at the middle position, I divided the line from the middle from the Kanishk, and then I searched. So in the same manner, I will find the middle element, and middle element will become start plus n by 2, which is equals to 7 by 2, which is equals to 3. Why 3? Why not 3.5? Because 3 is, because the data type is int, right? Int mid equals to start plus end I have done. Now this one will become my middle part, which is 3rd. So in the same manner, what will happen, that when this part become the middle, I'm going to compare it. But before that, let me erase the thing so that it becomes clear to you. Nothing should, means these things should not distract you, these silly things. Let me clear it all. Okay, let me clear it nicely. Erase this part. Done. Okay, cool. Now I erase this part. Okay, now see what will happen there. So for that, what I will do, I will run one while loop. While start greater than or equals to end, start greater than, smaller than or equals to end. Okay, and every time I'm going to take out the middle. So what I will do, I can initialize mid over here also, or the mid position. So if I'm going to upgrade the mid position, then it is going to change it by itself only. So it depends upon you whether you want to take it inside, means you want to declare the middle inside only, or you declare it over here and then assign the value. Depends upon you. Okay, so it depends upon you. And int mid equals to start plus end by 2 for getting the middle element. And if my array of mid, and the mistake which I was talking about, which I said that I'm going to discuss when I'm going to just write the code. So what I did now, when I was practicing, what I used to do, that I used to declare for loop over here for the binary search, and at very less in very less condition situations, students, teachers tell you this. Otherwise you have to analyze these things, and it's a good thing, you should analyze it, but I have analyzed it, so I'm sharing with you. So what I used to do, that I used to give the for loop. Do you understand? What I used to do now, that I used to So what I used to do, that I used to apply the for loop, and by applying for loop, what used to happen now, that when we apply for loop, do you remember we used to initialize simply with I equals to 0, I equals to 0 we used to do, and then we used to do I would be greater than or equal smaller than some number, we used to do like that. And then we used to do I plus plus. Do you remember that? But over what you will see now, that the starting position is going to change. Just listen me very carefully listen me over here. Just concentrate your mind, because DS is not about solving, getting the exact problem. The possibility which you get that at this position the mistake would have been made, but why this mistake is getting avoided, if those logics you are having, you are expert at DS. Just concentrate over here. So what will happen? So when I'm going to do for starting, starting equals to, suppose I'm doing 0 na, and after like what will happen, what when I will write on the things, I will show you that when I'm declaring the middle element, and if my middle element is going to be greater than or smaller than, and the position of starting and end is going to change accordingly. Like suppose the element is 6, then why would I search in the middle element I have got is 4, then why would I search for the tell me, why would I search in the starting part? I won't search. So what I will do, I will search for this part only, and for searching this part, what I will do, starting equals to middle plus 1 means this part I am going to search for this. So what you will realize that when you would have initialized na I equals to start, I greater than or smaller than or equals to end, and I plus plus. So here the things would not be iterating in the same manner. You just check it. What I'm saying, when you dry run by yourself, then you would get it. I wouldn't be changing in this manner I plus plus, which in the normal case happens. Here it won't happen that I would change it like this I plus plus. So that's why we don't prefer to use for loop. And or otherwise when you prefer na, then you don't have to initialize it and put the iterating condition. Then you have to simply do starting static greater than or equals to end, which I think, why would you do such a thing when you could simply apply while loop? Okay, so that this was all which I wanted to discuss about this for loop, that here the loop we are not using for in now. So why start greater than? Now what will happen, that if my array of mid means the middle element and the mid part which I am going to get, and the element stored at the middle position, if it is going to be equals to target, if my array of mid is equals to target, then what you do, you return mid at that position only. Simply you return mid is the index, right? So simply you return mid at that position only. Now otherwise, if else if condition will run, according to else if condition, what will happen, that if my array of mid means means at the mid position the element which is standing is greater than target. If my array of mid is going to be greater than target, means, are you getting what it is saying? That array of mid is greater than target means the standing position which is 4 and the targeted element is 2. So array of mid, which is array of 3, standing the element is stored at the array of 3 is 4. Now 4 is smaller than, it is saying that 4 is smaller than target. 4 is greater than target. So when the 4 is greater than target, that means I have to search over this part only, right? So that is what it is telling over here, that if array of mid is greater than or equals to target, so I am simply, why would I iterate the whole part? I would do end equals to mid minus 1, and it would be, what the condition would be after that, that end would become end equals to mid minus 1, mid minus 1. Now one last condition, which is the else condition, would be applied over here. So else condition, in the else condition, what you could write? Tell me. You don't have to apply the else condition. It is going to take the remaining condition by itself only. That what it is asking, that if my array of mid is smaller than target. If my array of mid is smaller than target, that means the element would be lying somewhere here. So why would I start from here? I would simply do start equals to mid plus 1. So that's what we are going to apply, else start equals to mid plus 1. Start equals to mid plus 1. So guys, this is the whole code. Trust me. Now when I'm going to dry run it, because I love dry running. Now you just see how beautifully we are going to dry run the things and understand. So we have taken one variable for start, right? So I'm taking the variable for start, then I'm going to take end, then one I'm taking for target, means for the key which we would be searching, and then mid we are initializing every time, right? So here mid. So that's all. These many variables we have to take. So now just see how the things are dry running, and I would suggest you that when I'm dry running the thing, you will get that why, you know, edge cases. What are the edge cases? This is the edge case. Why you have taken greater than or equals to end? You could have taken the only that start would be smaller than end. Why you have taken it equals to? So what if both the elements comes over here? I'm going to take that case also. Don't worry. See, I'm going to show the first case that only. So first of all, in the starting, for the starting 0 is stored over here. At the end position 7 is stored. Now I'm going to do mid equals to start plus end by 2 for finding the middle element. For finding the middle element, I got 3. 7 by 2 is 3, not 3.5. Why? Because it is the end data type. So 3 I will get. So array of 3 equals. So now the condition is going to be targeted element is suppose 7. Okay, I'm searching for the element 7. Wait a second. What is going to be stored over here, guys? Or you could simply do store one more element. Otherwise middle would have been changed because end would have become 6. That's why I'm doing. Why to do 6, 7. Okay. Now middle element would be search start plus end by 2, 7 by 2, 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. Now it is going to check that if array of middle is the array of third position, means the element which is standing at the array of third position is equals to target. Means what is array of 3? Array of 3 is 4. So we can we say this? That 4 is equal to 7? No. This is never true. So okay, this condition of if does not get fulfilled over here. So what we are going to do next? We are going to apply the else if condition. Else if condition is going to be applied that array of mid means array of 3 which is 4. So is the 4 is greater than target? Is the 4 greater than 7? No, not at all. So the ending position is not at all going to change, right? So now the else condition is going to be applied. Now for the else condition, what will happen? That rest condition, that is my target is greater than 7, greater than the middle element. Yes, my target is greater than 4. So in that case, what will happen? That the position of start is going to change. Start is going to change. That means the position of start is going to become middle plus 1, because we are not going to check it over here for the first part. So now the element became start equals to middle plus 1, which would be 4. So see guys, friends, see, when I was telling you that for loop was not applied, because have you seen how start has changed? The position of start is changing dynamically. It is not changing in this I++ manner that you could simply apply for loop over here. So just keep in your mind, okay? In the binary search we prefer while loop, that's why. Otherwise you could apply the for loop only, just you don't have to initialize it. You have to only apply the condition, means start greater than or equals to end. The both point you have to leave it as it is in this manner. So why to do that? Instead apply while loop, okay? Now again I'm going to find the middle. Remember in the Kanishk example, where we have bifurcated from the part of Kanishk, divided the line from the part of Kanishk and was searching for the elements, right? And then again we were searching that Shivam is smaller, Shivam is greater than, means taller than Kanishk but smaller than this person. It would be standing in this manner. So in the same manner we are going to change the middle position every time, the reference position every time, and then we are going to finally get the element. So this I'm so sorry. So this was all. Now start now the middle would be 7 plus 4, which is 11 by 2. 11 by 2, which means it is going to check for the fifth position, for this position. Now again it is going to check that is my array of fifth position, which is array of fifth position is equals to 6. So array of fifth position, which is equals to 6, is it equals to the target? Is it equal to the element? Target here is going to be 8, because I am taking the last element in order to tell you about this condition. So is my array of 6 equals to 8? Wait a minute guys, you could take 7 also. I have to try it once only, na? That's why I want to tell you about that condition. That's why I'm taking it with 8. So now I'm going to check that is my 6 equals to 8. Is my 6 is equals to 8? It is going to say not at all. How could you say that 6 is equals to 8? No. So what will happen then? It would run over the else if condition. So is the array of mid, which is 6, is it greater than target? No, it is not at all greater than target. We don't have to check in the starting part. So it is going to do, is my 6 is smaller than target? It would say yes, my array of mid is smaller than target. You need to check at the right part. So for that, what will you do? That it is telling that your position is this position, and it is greater than the element which is stored at the fifth position. So I would search over this part only, right? So for that, what will happen? I'm going to again do what I'm going to do. I'm going to change the starting position. So starting position would become over here start equals to mid plus 1, which is will become 6. Okay. So now again mid position would be taken out. Mid equals to start plus n by 2. 7, 3, 10, 13. 13 by 2. 13 by 2. Now it is going to come 6, right? Now it is going to check for the 6th position. So, and every time it is checked that is my start is smaller than or equals to end. So see, is my start is smaller than or equals to end? Just check it. Is my 6 is smaller than or equals to end? Yes, this condition is fulfilled. Then you entered in the while loop. Again you no, start position has changed right now. Na? Earlier it was 4. So it would have checked with 4 is greater than or equals to 7. Okay. Start I have changed it right now. Na? Before moving about this loop, before getting this element, middle element as 6, it was checked with 4. Na? So that's why I'm telling. Okay, got it. I hope you would have got it. Now I'm taking the middle position. I'm checking with the 6th position. So is my array of mid, which is array of 6. So array of 6 I'm writing over here. So it is checking that is my array of 6, which is array of mid. Is it equals to key? Means array of 6 at 6th position 7 is stored. So is 7 is equals to 8? No, not at all. So this if condition is not going to be applied over here. Then else if condition is going to be applied. For the else if condition, what will happen? That is my array of 6, which is 7. Array of 6 is array of middle is equals to 7, and is the 7 is greater than target? Means is 7 is greater than 8? So no, 7 is not greater than 8. We are not going to check in the starting position. So what we'll do? We will do instead the last part, which is my target is greater than the mid position, which is very true. My target is greater than mid position. I'm going to check in the right part. For that, what will happen? Again, the start equals to mid becomes start equals to mid plus 1. Now see, here the condition came. That again it is going to check that while is again it is going to check the while loop. While is start is smaller than or equals to end. So that's why we were taking equals to end. See, both has become equal. After iterating, when you have to find the element at the end position, then both had become equal. So 7 plus 7, 14 by 2. Middle will become 7 this time. Okay, 7 plus 7, 14 by 2, middle equals to start plus end by 2. Now it is going to check is my array of mid, which is array of 7, and array of 7 is equals to 8. So is my array of mid, which is 7 of equals to 8. So is my array of mid equals to target. Now it is going to check with the target one that yes, it is equals to target. So here you got the thing. Here you are going to return the mid. Return the mid position. Mid position you got 7. And yes, it is true. The mid position is 7. So this was all about the dry run of this binary code. I have explained you very beautifully, relating it with the real life example, and explained you with the thing, and how you would find, you once you have got that the Shivam position, means I'm taking the example of the line that Shivam is greater than the Kanishk. So in the next part, now I have to compare with the elements in the right part also, that is it smaller, is it greater, in that manner. So this was all. Now let's run it in the VS Code. Today I will run it so that things become more and more clear to you. So hashtag include IOStream using namespace std, then it would be int main return 0. Then I'm going to create one function. Okay, I'm creating one function which is int target, and there I'm going to send the array, and then I'm going to send the array, then I'm going to send the n, means size of the array, and then I'm going to send you the target, which is int target. So from here it is going to, and for this what will happen, that in the mid position, now I'm creating one array, int array of, suppose same example I'm giving, it is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, right? Then I'm going to pass n, int n equals to size, and I hope you that much awareness you would be having over here now, that this array and this array is different. If you are practicing DSA, that means you are having clear concepts regarding this, about the parameters and arguments. An argument you could declare any variable in the order in which you are sending, that matters. Names does not get mattered over here. The size of array divided by size of int. Then I'm going to, what I'm going to do over here, then I'm going to call this function target, and I will do one more thing, that's cout, and I'm going to send target, call target, in which I'm going to send array, I'm going to send n, means size of the array, then I'm going to send over here target also. So suppose the target over here is int target equals to, I'm searching for the 8. Okay, so I'm going to send over here 8 also, means target also. Okay, I'm going to call this function. So now I'm going to create this function over here. So I'm going to run one while loop. First of all, I'll initialize int start equals to 0, int end equals to n minus 1, start n. Now I'm going to do apply one while loop, while till the time my start is going to be smaller than or equals to n. I have explained this condition, y equals to is taken very beautifully. So while start greater than n, I'm going to take mid every time. It depends upon you whether you want to declare they want to initialize the mid earlier only, means declare the mid because position to be value we are going to change. So I am declaring it inside the while loop only. So int mid equals to start plus end by 2. Okay, and always while dividing, always take the bracket. So mid equals to start plus end by 2. Now what I am going to do is my array of mid. If now I am going to apply if condition, that if my array of mid equals to target, then what you have to do, you need to, okay, I don't need this one because I have already created my bracket. Then you have to return mid in this case. Then I'm going to apply one else if condition. In the else if condition, what will happen, that my array of mid, if my array of mid is greater than target, so that means the element is lying in the front position. If the array of mid is greater than target, that means my element is standing at the front position. So what I'll do, start equals to mid plus 1. Sorry. So I'm so sorry. When you are applying this condition, so what you will do, like this, means you have to search in the right half, and then you have to apply the else condition. So in the else condition, the last case is left if my array of mid would be greater than target. So when the array of mid is greater than target, that means the element is starting in the front position. So what I'll do, start lying in the front position, so start equals to mid plus 1. And if you do not get anything, means the key does not exist, means so the target does not exist. So in that case, you do return -1. See out. Okay. So you have declared target twice. So instead of target, what you could do instead, declare it with key. Okay, and pass over here key. In the parameter, what you do, that you pass over here key. And here also you could, it would create confusion for you. Instead you could do over here key. Wait a second, I am creating the copies of this, which you do not need it. Okay, wait a second, do not need copies over here. Let's remove it. Okay, so here I could do int, instead of what I'm going to do, int key, and then I'm going to do key. Everywhere I'm going to do key, because function also I have created with the name of target. Now that's why I'm doing it. So now let's run this code. Now it's perfect, and there was no need of passing the size because we were not applying for loop that we have to pass the size now. But so why to create one more variable? Remove it better. If there's no use of this variable, instead just remove it. Remove this sentence. Okay, I'm so sorry guys, here we were using the n, because n I was applying, what happens that here n I was applying till n-1. So size of array divided by size of int divided by size of int. Now let's pass int key, int 10. Now it would be clear. Now let's run this code without further doing mistake. Hey, why it is returning -1? Start plus n by 2. array of mid equals to key, then return mid. If the key is smaller than larger. Okay, I got the mistake. Here it would become end equals to mid minus 1, no? Mid minus 1, I have done mistake over here. See, in the code you are doing one mistake, that if my array of mid is smaller than key, right? If my array of mid is smaller than key, that means my starting position is becoming mid plus 1. And when the array of mid is greater than key, then it is then the element is lying in the front position, it will become end equals to mid minus 1. Now the code will run perfectly. Now what happens? What is the key which we are passing over here? Key equals to 8 we are passing, no? 8 exists over here. It should give. Let's check it, why it is not giving. Why it is not giving? Why it is not giving start equals to 0 while start smaller than or equals to end, mid equals to start plus end divided by 2. And if array of mid equals to key, return mid. Array of mid is smaller than key. That means, oh shit, see what the mistake is. Array of mid is smaller than key. If my array of mid is smaller than key, that means the element is lying in the right half, right? If my array of mid is smaller than key, then that means element is lying in the right half. Otherwise, array of mid would be greater than key. That means element is lying in the first part. And then you have to return minus 1. So where the mistake is, analyze it properly. Why it is not giving? If the key I am changing to, suppose the key I am changing to 7, so is it showing the same error? It should show minus 1 only. It is showing minus 1 only. Why it is happening so? I'm not getting that. Let's analyze it properly. Why it is happening? It doesn't matter whether you declare mid inside or outside. What is the error? Oh shit! See what the error we have done. I have done, sorry. What the error I have done, I have returned minus 1 here only. And I was not able to catch this simple error because I was not seeing it, that it is inside it. Return minus 1 would be at this position, no? If every time I'm not going to get the key at the first instance only, it is going to return minus 1. Now let's run this code. It is giving 6 position. 6 position is this correct? Let's check for 1. Now let's send the key which is equal to 1. And then we should run this code. 0. So this was all about the binary search. I hope it would have been clear to you. I have tried to explain you in the best way of manner, whatever the possibility of mistake, edge cases, for loop, whatever the possibility of mistake would have been there, I have tried to discuss with you. Now the way I have dry run the things, you also dry run it once, because I am also at the learning stage. I am also learning the things while showcasing my work publicly. So in the same manner, you can also dry run it in your copy. So this was all for today. Thank you. Keep learning. All power is within you.